right? So when we look at the syllabus, we had seen this part, packages and interfaces, and brief introduction of the packages was discussed in the previous class. So I'll be revising the packages part. So even I had told you to revise it for better understanding of today's class. So packages, I'll be discussing about packages and access protection in this class, right? So what actually are the packages? Packages are the containers for the classes. Packages are the containers for the classes. They will allow the same names for the classes to be used by more than one user. So if multiple users want to make use of same names for their classes, it is possible only with the help of packages. So we have seen this example package in the previous class. So right, this was an example package. The short example what we have seen, we had created a package called mypack, and that was containing two classes, balance class and account balance class. So basically what we are telling to the compiler here is the very first line in the source file, the very first line in the source file, what it tells the compiler is all the classes which are present in this particular source file should be part of the package called mypack. That means in this source file we have two classes. One is balance class, another one is account balance class. So whenever we compile this, we will get two class files, one with the name called balance.class, another one with the name called account balance.class. So they must be part of the package called mypack. This is what we are telling to the compiler. So later what we have done is we have compiled this program and we have to keep the, so I'll show it here. So what we had done, right? So in the bin folder, as you can see here, in the bin folder, we had created a package called mypack, and the source file must be kept. So what is the source file? Account balance.java. So this is what is our source file. I'll open it for showing it once again. So you can see here account balance.java. Just now whatever I have shown, the same program. Account balance.java is the source file, which is containing two classes, balance and account balance, and both the classes should be part of package called mypack, right? So the mypack package is present in the bin folder because by default we are assuming and we are executing all the programs from the bin folder, and all the examples will be following like this only. So how do we compile? So I'll show the compilation procedure also, right? So for compilation you should use the complete directory location of the source file where it is present, that is javac in the mypack directory where there is a source file called account balance.java. There is a source file called account balance.java. So this source file I am trying to compile. Once we compile, we'll get the bytecode of the class, right? So the compilation is successful and we will get the .class file which is already present here. As I said, I am not able to show those class files. I have compiled those class files. I have got the class files from the Windows XP OS and I have shifted them here. So this is the account balance.class and balance.class. We have got two class files in this location. So we have got two class files, one with the name account balance.class, another one with the name balance.class, because there are two classes in the source file. One bytecode will be created for every class. So while execution, you have to give java mypack dot, right, account balance. This is a command which we have seen already in the previous class. So java mypack dot account balance, enter. So this was the output what we have seen. It is simple. We can create our own folders that they are going to act as packages. So now this is what we have seen in the previous class. So now in this class I'll be explaining you about the access protection. That is different types of access specifications provided for the packages. So there are very similarities between classes and the packages. So as we know, the private member of a class cannot be accessed by other members. So classes and packages are both means for encapsulating and containing the namespace and scope of variables and methods. So packages act as containers for the classes and other packages. That means a package can contain either classes or some other packages. So, and we know that classes are act as containers for the data and code. That means we are providing security for the data by allowing only member functions to access that particular data. So because of the similarities between classes and packages, these four categories of visibilities are defined for the class members. Four categories of visibilities are defined for the class members present in the packages, for the classes present in the packages. That means just now we have seen my pack is the package, name of the package that is containing two classes. What are the two classes? Account balance and balance. So when we have such scenario, what are the four possible scenarios? Subclasses in the same package, non-subclasses in the same package, subclasses in the different package, classes that are neither in the same package nor the subclasses. So this part I will take one diagram and I will explain, because that is the most important part, which is this is what is this theoretical explanation, whatever is there, this everything is summarized in this particular table. So different access specifications, all these are given. Every class is having access specifiers, private, public and protected, and some of the data members are defined with this access specifier. So what happens whenever that particular access specification is given for the data members? So that is what is, these four possible access specifications are there. So what are those four? So the same four I have taken it here. So you can see here four access specifications, subclasses in the same package. That means same package subclass, non-subclasses in the same package. That means the class is present in the same package, but it is not a subclass of that. Different packages and subclass. There is one class which is present in different package, but it is subclass. There is a class which is present in different package and it is not a subclass. So four possibilities. Four possibilities. So how to understand these four scenarios? So I'll take one simple help of paint for explaining this. So this is fundamental. One second. Right. So first I'll create two packages. I need to create two packages. Package. One package number two. So two package, for two packages we have created. For time being, let us give it a name called P1 and this a name called P2. So same package subclass. So assume here we have a class four possibilities. All four possibilities I am drawing. It will help to understand, right? So what I will do, this is class 1, this is class 2, and this is class 3, and this is class 4. We have 4 classes. So what it says, this is one package. There is a clear distinction between this is one package P1, this is another package P2. You can take any names for the whatever you need, you can take the names, right? For package P1 and P2. P1 is containing 2 classes, same package subclass. So there are 2 classes in this package, C1 and C2. So in this scenario, what happens here is C1, C2 is deriving all the properties from the C1. Then what happens? C2 becomes subclass of the C1. So that is what is the first scenario. What it says, there is one class which is present in the same package and it is subclass of that class. That means the first scenario, what it says, first thing, it must be subclass of the same class. So before I go for that, I think I have to explain the same class. What the same class indicates here is all the data members of a class are accessible by all the member functions of the class. Yes, because the members of a class are accessible, whether it is private, protected, or public. All the members are accessible. So as you can see here, in the same class, whenever you are trying to access the members of a class in which you are present, then it is possible to access private members, possible to access default members, possible to access protected members, and possible to access public members. That is, within same class, we are able to access everything. So that was the first scenario. When it comes for the second scenario, when we are talking about the same package, these two cases will talk about the same package. So C2 is a class. I'm explaining this class now. C2 is a class which is present in the same package where C1 is present. And C2 is subclass of the C1. C2 is subclass of the C1. In that case, what members it can access? That means what members this class C2 can access? What are the members that class C2 can access which are present in C1? Because C2 is inheriting properties from the C1 and both these classes are present in the same package. So when this is the scenario, what are the possibilities of access? So what the possibilities it says here is same package subclass. C2 is present in same package and it is subclass of C1. Then what members of C1 are accessible to C2? Right? Then private member is not accessible. So what it says, this row says, and these are the columns. So in this scenario, C2 cannot access private members of C1, not possible. C2 can access default members of C1. C2 can access protected members of C1. C2 can access public members of C1. That means in this first scenario, other than private members, all members are accessible to C2. So what the first scenario says, C2 can access all the members of C1. C2 can access all the members of C1 except private members. That means this access specification is not given. Private members cannot be accessed by this. That is what is the first case. Now the second case, let us be in the same package. In the same package, there is a class which is not a subclass of that C1. In the same package, there is a class. That means I should draw one more class now. The third class I am explaining. In the same package, I will take one more class. Right? C3. I will take it as C. Yes. The same package. Some more space here. Okay. Class non sub. This is just a non subclass NSC. I've given some name for that. So there is one more class in the same package which is not a subclass of this class, which is not a subclass of this class. Then this NSC can access what members? That means this non-subclass present in the same package is allowed to access. That is what members of C1 can be accessed by this non-subclass. So what it says, it is present, there is a class, NSC is a class which is present in the same package, and it is a non-subclass. It is not a subclass of that. Only C2 is subclass of C1. Only C2 is subclass of C1, but NSC is not a subclass of C1. So then what members of C1 it can access? So it can access private member? No. NSC cannot access private members of C1. Next, default members. NSC can access default members of C1. See here. Then this subclass can access protected members of C1. Yes. Public members. Yes. That means a non-subclass which is present in the same package can access all the members of this class C1 except the private members. Same, except the private members. It cannot access private members, but it can access all other members, that is default access, protected access, and public access. Right? This was the case when we were having what? Classes present within the same package. Only two types of classes are possible: independent class or one subclass. This is the class which is deriving properties from C1. This is the class which is not deriving anything from C1, but still it can access some members of C1. Then that access is provided by this particular matrix. Third type of access, right? So what the third type of access says here is, there is a class which is present in different package. There is a class which is present in different package, but it is a subclass. So say for example, C3 is a class which is present in different package. Which package? It is present in package P2, and it is a subclass of what? Subclass of C1. It is a subclass of C1. It is a subclass of C1. In this case, what are the possibilities? They are present in the independent packages. C3 is present in P2, C1 is present in P1. In this scenario, what are the access provisions given? Obviously, it is not. Obviously, C3 is not present in P1, but C3 is present in P2. But it is a subclass of C1. That means C3 is inheriting properties from C1. C3 is inheriting properties from C1. So in this case, what are the possibilities? That means what members of C1 are accessible to C3? What members of C1 are accessible to C3? This is what is next type. So what it says, when it is not present in the same package, private members cannot be accessed. See, when you see this column, private members are not at all accessible to anyone else. So that is no everywhere. So in the different package subclass, private members are not accessible. Then default members are also not accessible. Then protected and public, only those two members are accessible. The meaning of this, the class C3 can access only protected and public members of C1. The class C3 can access only protected, the class C3 can access only protected and public members of C1, but it cannot access private and default members of the C1. That is third scenario. Fourth scenario. The fifth scenario is, there is a class which is present in different package and that is not a subclass. So there is a class which is present in different package. There is a class which is present in different package. So C4 is a class. So C4 is a class which is present in package P2. In this scenario, what members of C1 are accessible to C4? That is the last scenario. See, C4 is present in different package. C4 is not a subclass of C1. C4 is present in different package. C4 is not a part of C4 is not a subclass of C1. In this scenario, what members it can access? That means C4 is allowed to access what members of C1. That is, the first is private, it cannot access. C4 cannot access private members of C1. C4 cannot access default members of C1. C4 cannot access protected members of C1. C4 cannot access protected members of C1. So only what it can access? Only public members it can access. So C4 class is permitted. C4 class is permitted to access only protected only the public members present in C1. So that is what is meaning of this. So I hope this matrix is clear to you. One, the different accesses are provided with the members of, so for all these four types of classes, the base reference is C1 only. The base reference to be taken here is only the class C1, only the class C1, right? So I'll be taking one sample example, right? An access example is demonstrated by creating two packages, P1 and P2. By creating two packages, P1 and P2, and as usual, the protection, all the access specifiers are used, right? So the four source files are present here, which are having same, right? The four source file, three files are present. The first file name here is protection.java, which is present in package P1. Second source file is derived.java, which is also present in P1. Third one is same package.java, which is also present in P1. Because just for demonstrating all these cases, for demonstrating these first three rows, first, second, and third, three rows, we have to take these three source files. And these source files are present. So what these lines says, these source files, protection.java, this is the entire source file. This is the entire source file, and this must be present in package P1. Derived.java must be present in same package P1. Same package.java should be present in package P1. That means three source files are present in package P1, and there is one more source file called demo, that is also present in P1 for demonstration purpose. That is also present in P1. So just you should create this before the explanation. I'll just create this source file. I'll take these source files P1, three source files, protection.java, derived.java, and same package.java, and create a package. Which package? Package name is P1. So that already I have created. See here, two packages I have created, P1 and P2. So within the P1 package, see, these are the class files which we will get after compilation. So now for time being, you ignore them, right? So these are the source files. So these are the source files. What are the source files? This just now I have shown you. Protection.java is the source file. This I'm opening it here. So protection.java is the source file. And right. So protection.java is the first source file. See, I'm just simply taking these files, the source files from this particular textbook only. Next, derived.java. It must also be present. See here. in the package P1, the source file derived.java is present. So I'm opening that also. I'm opening that also. And font. Let's try to reduce this font. Okay. First one is protection.java and second one is, I don't know whether this font size is visible or not. Let's try to increase it 16 because I need more space here. That's why I'm reducing the font size. Right, I'll try to make this also as 16 font. Right, this much space is, if space is not sufficient, then later I'll try to reduce it. Okay, two source files I have created, protection.java and derived.java. So what is the third source file? Derived.java is over. Next, same package.java. In the bin folder, there is one more file called same package.java. So I have opened that source file also. Same package.java. I'm just opening those source file. I'll keep everything ready for the explanation. Right. This is fourth type of third source file. Then the very last source file present in P1 is demo.java. This is the main. This is the file which is containing main function. This is the file which is containing main function. So demo.java. Right. All the four source files have been opened. Protection.java, derived.java, same package.java, and demo.java. This is derived.java. All contents are visible. Derived demo.java. Then it comes to, I need space. Okay. So all four source files I have kept open. So what it says here is, we have two packages now. Same example what I explained just now. This one only I am rewriting, but with the different names. Right. So what is this package now? Now this package, name of this package is P1. Name of this package is P2. Right. What are the source files present in package P1? Protection.java, derived.java, same package.java, and demo.java. So those are the four source files. Protection.java. So I'm not writing complete things, you can understand. Derived.java, derived.java, they are present in the same package. Same package.java and demo.java. Same package.java and demo.java. Demo.java. So let us concentrate only on this first package now. So four files are ready. This is what is ready now. Now in these scenarios, protection is the base class. So this is very first class here is the base class. This is base class for everything. This is base class for everything. Base class for everything whatever we discuss. This is what is the base class. Then obviously this name itself is derived class. So this is what is derived class. That means what it means here is P1 is a class, derived class. Derived class is deriving properties from the base class. This is what is inheritance. Inheritance, which already we have seen. It inherits. So the protection.java is the base class, derived.java is the derived class. Now this class is inheriting properties from the base class protection.java. sp.java is a class. It is a source file which is present. It is a source file which is present in which is a source file which is present in the same package p1, which is present in the same package p1. Then demo.java is also a source file which is present in the same package. Now I'll explain this. This theory I'll explain. I'll take the source file now. Derived, same package, demo. So these are the 4 source files. So first let us study about the very first base class of the inheritance scenario. So protection is the class and name of the source file is protection.java. So these are the 4 types of access specification. This is default. N is a variable which is having default access. N private. So these are given with their names. N private is a variable. N private is a variable. The value of n is 1. N private is an integer variable which is having private access and which is initialized with the value of 2. N underscore pro is an integer variable which is having protected access and its value is 3. N underscore public is a integer variable which is having access public and we have given some value 4 to that, the initial value. And whenever the constructor of the production will get executed, then these are the statements which are getting executed. So what access rule we know for this? What access rule we know here? In the same class here, everything is yes. In the same class, everything is yes. That means all these statements will get executed without any issues. That means within the same class, while being in the same class and while being in the same package, while being in the same class and while being in the same package, we are able to access default member, we are able to access private member, we are able to access protected member, we are also able to access public member. So all the members are accessible while being in the same package from the same class. So then everything is yes, this should execute without any issues, right? That was the first P1. Then coming to the same package and subclass. So that is derived class. Take an example of derived class. Right? While being in the derived class, that is same, not this one, sorry, I am taking some other example. Here is the derived class. Yes, here we have derived class. This will be looking into afterwards. So what is this derived class? Derived class, derived is extending protection. So as I explained with the diagram here, derived.java is the class. Derived.java is the class which is inheriting properties from protection.java. So that is given here. Protection.java is the source file. From this source file, the class derived is extending all the properties protection, right? So whenever we execute derived, so these are the set of statements that we're trying to execute. So what are the set of statements? Simply give a message called derived class constructor, then we'll be able to access n. Access to the n is permissible. So basically what these comments indicates here is we are not allowed to execute these statements. You are not allowed to execute. That's why they have been commented. For cross verification, you can remove the comments and then you will get the error message. So if possible, I'll show that also later, right? So when in this scenario, same package and non-subclass here, it is present in same package. Derived class is present in same package. Protection is present in P1. Derived is also present in P1. In this case, so this row I am explaining. Is it possible to access private members? No. Default member it is possible. See here, default member is possible. Third row, default member it is yes. So it can access. N is having default access, so it is possible to access it. So it will execute without any errors. So this is only permitted. Only class can access the private members. That means now from the derived class derived, we are trying to access private member. From the derived class, from this derived class, we are trying to access private member. What is that private member? NPRI. So we are trying to access NPRI. That is an error. Why it is an error? Because a class present in the same package, but it is not a subclass, is not allowed to access the private member. No. So we are not allowed to access the private member because access specification is no here. Access specification is no here. So once you remove the comment, we'll get the error message. Once you remove these comments, we'll get the error message. Just for demonstration purpose, these lines have been commented. So private member, you are not allowed to access. So other than that, all you are allowed to access. That means from the subclass, we are allowed to access protected member. So this line will execute without any error. This subclass is trying to access this protected member. Perfectly, it is all right. Then this subclass is trying to access public member. So this n public. So that is also perfectly allowed. So this is the derived class scenario. Now coming to the third category, fourth category, what it is? Sorry, whatever I explained was this one, second row. So whatever I explained was for second row. What it says, not for this one, second row. No means other than private, all are accessible. Other than private, that is, it is same package subclass. Other than private, all are accessible. So as I said here, other than private, you are not allowed to access the private member. Other than private, we are allowed to access all. Default member is allowed to access, protected member can be accessed, and public member can also be accessed. So other than private, all are possible. So now coming to this one, same package but non-subclass. Same package but non-subclass. This is the base class for everything. Protection.java is the base class for everything. So I'll go for the third type of class. So what is the third type? It says same package.java is the source file. And so here what we're trying to do here is, see here you can see there is no inheritance. As in case of derived is trying to inherit properties from the protection. But here class same package, it is not deriving anything from the superclass. You can see this diagram. Same package.java, it is present in the same package called P1, but it is not inheriting anything from the superclass protection.java. In this scenario, what are the possibilities? That means what are the members of this superclass are accessible by the class same package. For the same package, the class protection is not a superclass. The class protection is not a superclass, but it is present in the same package where the protection is present. The class protection and the class same package are present in the package P1. See here, the first statement it says it is present in the same package, package P1 and package P1. Now in this scenario, what members of this superclass, what member, not superclass, what members of this class protection are accessible to same package, are accessible to same package. Right, this I will take same package non subclass. See a same package P1 and P1, they are present in the same package, but the class same package is not a subclass of the protection. In this case, what are the possibilities? Other than private, everything else is accessible. So other than private, everything else is accessible. So same as that of this. We are not allowed to access private. That's why it has been commented. We are not able to access this. That's why it has been commented. Default member can be accessed successfully. Protected member can be accessed successfully. And then public member can also be accessed successfully. Right? Just based on this table, the programs are written. Now let us demonstrate only this part. Different package I'll explain later. Different package I will explain later. So same package. For a beginning of all these, I'll minimize this. Then let us come to the main function. See demo dot, there is a class called demo, which is also present in the same package called p1. So as I said here, demo.java is also class which is present in, we are not, just now we are dealing, right now we are dealing about same package, not the other package. Now when it is present in the same package, this is that just for execution purpose. Now whenever we execute the main program, what happens? We are creating a new object ob1 of type protection. That means we are calling constructor of protection. That means we are calling constructor of protection. We are calling constructor of protection. Then we are creating an object. We are calling constructor of derived class. Then we are calling constructor of same package. That means for all these classes, first we are calling constructor of this base class, then we are calling constructor of this derived class, then we are calling constructor of this same package. Now what happens? How the output goes? I'll give the demonstration parallel here, so it will be easy to understand. I'll take the demonstration, help of demonstration. Right? How do we compile Java? See, first we need to compile these individual source files. Right? First, we need to compile these individual source files, or they will automatically get created whenever you compile the Java C, whenever you compile the demo.java main program. So where it is present? From package p1 slash demo.java. See, as you can see in the directory, I'll show the directory locations. In the package p1, there are 4 source files. This already we have seen. Demo.java I'm trying to execute. So how we should execute? From package p1, compile the source file called demo.java, which is present in package p1. Which is present in package p1. You can see it. I'm trying to compile demo.java source file. I'm trying to compile demo.java source file. So whenever you compile this, we will get the class files. All the 4 class files are getting created. Why? Because indirectly we are referring to all them. Because demo.java, it is referring to protection, derived, and also same package. I don't know why it is taking so much time. Compilation should get compiled. Java C protection. Yes, compilation is successful. How do we run Java p1 demo.class dot we should use, right? This could be you may see how this much of output has come, right? So I have kept everything open for explanation purpose. Demo.java. This is what is the output. Right now, everything is present on the same screen. On a single screen, everything is present, and we have executed this program, and we should know how we got this output. How this output, right? to here I can take it down. Right? The very first statement which will execute in the demo class here is we are calling constructor of the class protection. So here is the constructor of the class protection. So what is happening in this constructor of the class protection? We are just printing a statement called base constructor. So that is the first line, base constructor. Then we are displaying values of all the variables, n, default access, private access, protected, and public. So all the variables are getting displayed. So values are 1, 2, 3, 4. So those 1, 2, 3, 4 values are getting displayed. So this is what is the output. Base constructor n equal to 1, n private equal to 2, n protected equal to 3, n public equal to 4. So these 4 lines are executed by this statement. These 4 lines are displayed by this statement. The very next statement here is we are calling constructor of the derived class. So we are calling constructor of the derived class. So coming to this derived class, derived.java. So where is the constructor? Here is the constructor of the derived class. Now as per the constructor of the derived class, what happens? As per the constructor of the derived class, the very first statement here is derived.constructor. The very first statement is derived.constructor, but we have got something called base constructor. So can anyone unmute yourself and tell me the reason for this? Very simple, which has been explained. Why I am getting this value same again? Base constructor n equal to 1, private, protected, and public. Anyone who can answer this? Why I am getting this? Because as per this, I should get this statement.
Sir, since it is a derived class, it will first call the constructor of the superclass.
Since it is a derived class, it will call constructor of the superclass. Because we have seen, correct answer. We have seen the concept that whenever we are calling constructors in the inheritance hierarchy, whenever you call constructor of a derived class, first the constructor of the superclass will be executed, then the constructor of the derived class will be executed. That means whenever in this hierarchy, whenever you are calling constructor of this derived class, first constructor of the superclass will be executed, then constructor of the derived class will be executed. So that's why what happens, but for this statement, first constructor of the derived class is executing. What is constructor of the derived class? Same 4 lines, base constructor, n, private, protected, public. That means these lines are getting displayed once again. Then actually this is what is the line. These are what the lines which are actually belonging to the derived constructor. What are present in the derived constructor? First statement, that is derived constructor, that is printed as it is. Then value of n is printed, value of n is printed. Then protect same package. When you go to the constructor of the same package, from here to here, control will get transferred here. So in this, what is happening? 1 second. In this, what is happening? This is what is construct of the same package. But within this constructor, we are creating an object P of the class protection. That means we are indirectly we are calling constructor of the superclass again here. So that's why these lines are coming. What are these lines? Base constructor. These 4 lines are again getting printed. These 4 lines are again getting printed. That is base constructor n, private, protected, and public. So base constructor n, private, protected, and public. Then this is actually the constructor of the same package class. So what is happening in this constructor of the same package? So it is allowed to access value of n because default access is allowed as per this table. Same package, non-subclass. We are studying about this row. Same package, non-subclass. Private is not allowed. Default is allowed. Protected is allowed. Public is allowed. So other than private, everything else is again allowed. So what it will display? 1, 3 and 4. So it will display values of 1, 3 and 4. So this was the demonstration of the packages. This was the demonstration of the packages. Right? What I will try to do here is the derived class is not allowed to access private members. These lines are commented. Just I will remove the comments and I will try to show the execution. That means derived.java. This derived.java, I will remove the comment. Paste. Derived because I cannot edit there in the C drive. So what I am trying to do here is I am trying to remove this comment. So please concentrate. I am trying to remove this comment. That means from the derived class, I am directly trying to access the private member. I have removed that comment now. I am trying to access the private member. So let us see what happens. I'll save it. I'll take this source file. Copy. Paste. Replace the file in the destination. Right? Now my derived.java is containing what? It's trying to access the private member. It's trying to access the private member, but actually it should not access the private member. So when in this scenario, what happens? If you try to execute, remaining everything is kept same. So in this scenario, I'll just try to execute, compile this. Yes, you can see the error. So what error it is showing? It shows that n private has a private access in the protection class and you are not allowed to access that particular private data member. It clearly shows the error in that particular line. So if you want to see those demonstration, you can just go on removing those comments and you'll come to know where actually the things are going wrong. Now, when you come to the derived.class, what I will do, I'll try to put the comment again because private member cannot be accessed. I'll save it, close it, take this and keep it here, replace it, continue. Right, the file has been replaced again. Right, now compilation is successful again because private member cannot be accessed by the derived class. Just I have removed one comment. Similarly, you can remove the comments from all these source files. You can check all possibilities. Right, you can remove this comment I have removed. Similarly, you can remove this comment also and you can check it. We'll get the error message saying that you are not allowed to access the private member. So this was the concept what we have said. So a different package probably I feel I thought of completing everything today, but it's time. It's very late. So what I'll do, I'll take it in the next class, different package because everything will get mixed up. I'll not take now. This part I will explain in the next class. So just wait for timing. I'll just take the attendance of all the participants.